And welcome back to the 2019 Men's Roller Derby Association North American quarterfinals. New England Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. They are a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. It is size-inclusive activewear that is designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of arm brand and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please see Sociopath, that's SEWCIOPATH.ca for more details.
Oh.
How about that matchup we just saw between Austin and Denver?
What an incredible game.
8 lead changes.
Wow.
9 scoreless jams. And just incredible roller derby.
Yeah. A great job by Austin, taking it out at the last minute there,
right.
Being able to pull out the win, having an upset over the #1 seed for this tournament, Denver.
Yeah, Denver's going to have their work cut out for them to get back to the championship in their own hometown. Meanwhile, we got a matchup going on between the Quad Fathers and the Bruise brothers. You want to take us through the path that each team took to get here?
Oh, I would love to. So both of these teams have played a single game today already. The Quad Fathers played a game against Race City where they ended up victorious 158 to 125. The Chicago Bruise brothers went up against Lane County, had a not nearly as close game, 195 to 105. But so both of these teams have had a little bit of a rest since then. Just a little bit of a breather. A little bit. Yeah. A one-game breather for the Bruise brothers.
Right.
Quad Fathers with a little bit more of a break. But chatted with both of these teams ahead of the game, and they're ready to go.
Well, I'm the guy from the Eastern Seaboard, so why don't I take the Quad Fathers for the introductions.
Please do.
Number 0101 is going to be Deb Crush. Number 10, Amanda Chapin. Number 1013, El Majestic. Number 1213, Fuerza Brutal. Number 1618, Rufo. Number 202, Defunk. Number 315, D Shears. Number 33, Unwired. Number 35, B Shears. Number 43, Chapin. Number 48, Oxenfree. Number 5 is Poblex. Number 6 is Zalkowski. Number 603 is Haushtar. And the captain, number 96, Stever. Coaches are Gutshot, Smitten Kitten, Slay West, and Jake Stankus.
So they will be skating in the white with black accents. Their opponents today, the Chicago Bruise brothers, skating in the red with white accents.
Yeah, you're our Midwesterner. Why don't you take us through that
roster?
I
would love to. So 15 is going to be Smackaroni. Number 16, Markamides. 19, Ragnarocker. Number 22, Impale Ale. Number 27, Deconstruct. Number 33, Bloody Baron. Number 333, Orange Whip. Number 35, Ben Hurt. Number 360, Grizz Arrington. Number 46, Heartless. Number 556, Shenanigans. Number 59, Gloom. Number 65, Kingpin, number 831, and number 88, Up and Atom. They'll be supported from the bench by Kickin' McChuggett, Boo Boo, Chloroform Cupcake, and DeFleur.
Chloroform Cupcake doing double duty this tournament, also one of our fellow announcers.
Yeah, props to her. My brain couldn't handle it.
We also have the referees for this game. We haven't had them all day, but we have them for this match. Do we have time to go through the officials? Let's try. We have TBD, Kinky Linky, Pam DeBear, Coconut Chanel, Veronica Scars, Fetal Exception, Maya Culprit, India Pale Owl, Dragon Harass, and Ms. Hyde as our non-skating officials. And who's on skates?
We've got Doesn't Matter, Kylo Ref, Wifo Pathetic Signal, Pete in the Pool, Guinness, Flow Block, Organic Panic, and Sinzap Zing.
All right, should be a great matchup. Skaters are ready to go. Out on the track for the Quad Fathers, number 603 is Haushtar.
And for Chicago Bruise Brothers, going to be number 27, Deconstruct.
And in case we didn't introduce ourselves, I'm Bobby Narco. I'm joined by Rich Mahogany, and our producer is the most excellent Cashman.
So we are into the action here. Got an early run back here on Hazatar by Kingpin.
Low block coming in. It's on the jammer. This is going to be a power jam for the Bruise brothers. First penalty is on a jammer. That is not an auspicious beginning. Lead jam goes to the Bruise brothers.
Good job by Deconstruct there, getting by number 1013, El Majestic. And a valiant attempt by El Majestic to waylay Deconstruct as long as possible. So Deacon now coming around for his first scoring pass. Bros starting off with some passive offense, but quickly going active.
Penalty coming in direction of play. Let's see who leaves. Nobody yet. There it is. Something ending in a 35 on the white team. That's going to be that's going to be B Shears. Yeah, there's only 2 numbers that end in 5. It's D Shears and B Shears for that team.
So Haushtar now back on the track, has completed his initial pass. Deconstruct with a line up the outside will meet up with a single blocker there.
Contact after the fourth whistle. Let's see how close to the fourth whistle it got, if it'll incur a penalty or not. Tallies coming in. 4 points picked up by the Bruise brothers. That sets the lead. I'm going to call that our first lead change. But I always say the first lead change happens after jam number 1. 1 point picked up by the Quad Fathers. So both teams putting points on the board here in jam number 1.
So going to be a 4-3 pack advantage to start off this next jam in favor of the Bruise brothers, but that one blocker for the Quad Fathers is standing, so he'll be back in the action post-haste.
Yeah, we got Ragnarocker on the line going up against Publix. Publix being drawn to the back, Ragnarocker forcing the front.
And it's Ragnarocker up at the front, taking lead jam for the Bros.
For the Bros. Love it.
And
do they say Bruise Bros or is it Bruise Brothers?
It works all across. They often call themselves like the Bros. You know,
Sure.
we're just talking about the Bros.
Sure.
But Chicago Bruise Brothers is always a fun thing to say. I like the name. I like the reference.
Sure.
I also like the name and reference of the Quad Fathers. So
absolutely,
really
both cinematic references for both teams.
So these teams not only vying for a position in the qualifier tomorrow, but vying for position of my favorite movie reference of this tournament.
Multiplayer block sends one of the shears to the penalty box. Initial pass completed by Publix, but no points. Let's get those tallies. 3 on the board for Chicago. Brings them up to 7.
Chicago starting off with a comfortable little lead here, although I guess comfortable is not quite the right word for it because that can change in a pass and a half, really.
Precarious, but but it's better than trailing early on.
Yeah, no, they've been managing to get the lead so far, so that's a good sign for them. We're going to see what Unwired can bring to the table here to jam for the Quad Fathers in this next jam.
Jamming, we have Unwired on the line for Mohawk Valley going up against number 46. That is Heartless. Penalty box has 1 white jersey. Red appears to be at full strength. Track cut on the white jammer.
So Heartless now on the power jam, but forced to the outside, going to be recycled back by number 35 D Shears, or B Shears.
Couple of shears.
And there we've got Heartless taking lead.
All the leads have gone in favor of Chicago so far.
So Chicago out there skating in the red and white. We've got Mohawk Valley Quad Fathers out there in the white and orange.
Yes. I would say white and black with orange accents, but the pivot covers and jammer covers are in orange.
Yep. If you're seeing orange out there, chances are it belongs to a Quad Father skater.
Quad Fathers pivot picking up a forearm penalty, so Quad Fathers will be pivotless for the next few seconds, or the next 30 seconds.
Heartless up at the front of the pack, pushing away against a 2-wall of number 35 and number 6. That is Bischers and Zakowski. Now positions switching up at the pack as we've got Unwired now taking position at the front, but that is a full complement of blockers for the Bruise brothers that he has to deal with, and that is not a happy place to be, my friend.
Yeah. Face down on the backstretch on the outside out of the track. Pivot now re-entering play. Both teams back at full strength on the backstretch.
Chicago holding the inside line firm as Unwired trying to work his way through there. Oh, and Bobby, we've got a star pass. So that pivot returning to the track. Number 1013, El Majestic, now becoming the jammer of record for the Quad Fathers. Will force the call off. Going to see 3 points up that jam for the Chicago Bruise brothers. Quad Fathers held to 0.
1013, I don't know. In the state of New York, 1013 is a officer needs assistance radio call. I don't know if that's the intention of El Majestic in 1013, but definitely providing assistance.
Absolutely.
By receiving that star. No points picked up by the Quad Fathers, keeps them at 1. 3 on the board for the Bruise brothers, brings them up to 10. Bruise brothers have scored in every frame. Not surprising considering they've had lead every frame. Who's out on the jammer line right now, Rich Mahogany?
Well, for Chicago in the red, we've got number 15, Smackaroni, out for the Quad Fathers in the white. We've got number 603, House Star.
Now, House Star is making the second appearance on the jammer line, the first appearance for Smackaroni. Bruise brothers have yet to repeat a jammer. Whistle's coming in. It's a high block, and it's on the white jammer. White jammers have been to the penalty box in 3 of the last 4 jams.
It's a really rough way to start out this game for Mohawk Valley.
It's fortunate that the lead is not greater than 9.
Yeah, their defense has been doing a fantastic job. Their jammers have just been having trouble getting through and some penalty trouble to start.
Hard to put points on the board when you're not on the track.
As you said, the Bruise picking up lead. This will be the 4th in a row for them, as this is the 4th jam. Smackaroni round for 4 points. And Haustar now back on the track, going to be looking to catch up here. Chicago ready for him at the back.
Helmet cover in hand. Hitting that wall of red at the back of the pack. Whistle coming in. Direction of play penalty sends a quad father to the penalty box. That is number 96, the captain, Stever.
So it looks like the quad fathers were attempting a star pass here, but it is an illegal one because we've got Defunk, number 202, out here with the jammer helmet cover in hand. However, cannot put it on as that star pass was illegal. There he goes.
Hands it back.
Now Haustar through. Star now in hand, looking to redon it. There it goes.
Meanwhile, points going up on the board for the Bruise brothers. That's just their highest tally of the game. It is 8 points, and it represents nearly half of their score. No, it's 11 points, and it represents more than half of their score.
Wow, so a 20-point spread so far with 7 minutes and 30 seconds having elapsed. We are getting into jam number 5 here.
Taking a look down at the penalty box, I believe there's only a single white jersey in there. I see no red jerseys.
Yeah, white jersey standing. I don't see any red jerseys either. Our view is partially obstructed, so don't slaughter us on the internet if we're wrong. Jammers are Poblex for the Quad Fathers, second appearance on the line. And I didn't catch the red jammer, did you?
That's number 27, Deconstruct, out there jamming for the Bros.
So the Bros are now repeating their jam rotation. It looks like they're going to put 4 out on the line.
So Deconstruct up at the front of the pack, only 2 to beat. Will almost get through on the inside, but nice recycle there by B. Shears.
Quad Fathers lose a blocker. Pack advantage now goes back to Chicago.
Deconstruct really favoring those apex jumps. Failed attempt there. So Quad Fathers clearly wise to those shenanigans.
And Deconstruct 2 for 2 on the jammer line now, picking up lead jammer yet again.
So Kingpin with the run back on Poblex will keep the Quad Fathers jammer in the turn 1-2 apex. Back block.
Yeah, whoever's leaving. There it is, number 566, 556 on the red team.
That'll be shenanigans.
It will be. I call shenanigans. Or at least back blockage.
Poblex now through, looking to score some points here. Deconstruct, though, looking to the bench, going to call off the jam before any damage can be done by the Quad Fathers. Going to be a 0-point jam for the Quad Fathers, 2 up for the Bruise brothers, bring their total up to 23.
Bruise brothers, like I said earlier, have scored in every frame. That photographer in the middle was Hispanic Attack, who is now making his way off the track. But much derby love to all the different photographers, both that are here, that might be listening, and that even if you're not listening, we love our derby photographers.
Oh, yeah. And I think that those people are the ones that feel that love the most in this moment, those that aren't listening to us.
I was going to say first appearance on the jammer line for number 33, but it is not. It is the second for Unwired, and it is also the second appearance on the jammer line for Ragnarocker.
Both of these defenses really digging in deep. Nobody really moving much past the that box in between the jammer and pivot line, and off on a forearm goes Unwired. So that will be the 4th jammer penalty against the Quad Fathers in this game, and we're only in jam 6.
Only just barely into jam 6. Direction of play now sends number 315 to the penalty box. That's D. Shears. Time is called for injury.
Yeah, that's going to be shenanigans for the Chicago Bruise brothers. He is able to skate off.
So our first scoreless here in jam, and our first no lead. Or did someone get a lead in there? I don't think so.
I don't believe that they did, but things are happening quite quickly there. A lot of things happening quickly. I was unable to track all of them, and we are going to go into an official timeout. Likely to not only make sure that Shenanigans is okay here, but likely also to do a little bit of track maintenance.
Okay.
As there is definitely some blood involved here.
And the officials are huddling on the infield. I'm sure they're going to want to make sure that all the points are tallied correctly, all the penalties are tallied correctly as well. Give some love to our sponsors. We have Dippin' Donuts, Fat Boys Pizza, Chobani, and Burn Dairy. Thank you very much for the sponsors of this tournament. And let's take a look while we have the time off to see what's going on with the chat. Oh, got some loves for Hispanic Attack.
Oh, how could you not love Hispanic Attack? Whiskey Riot, I agree wholeheartedly. Both with the love to Hispanic Attack and the jammer penalty comment.
Ice Cold GCS says, I see red, orange, and orange. Yes, you do. The red team, the predominantly red jerseys are Chicago Bruise brothers, and the predominantly white jerseys with just a little bit of orange accents, that is the Quad Fathers. So clock is frozen with 19 minutes and 24 seconds. That's our first stoppage of play.
So as we were talking about at the beginning of this game, Bobby, this is a big one.
It's a semifinal.
The winner of this game will have a ticket into the qualifier, or one of the two qualifying games tomorrow, which the winners of those, of course, will get a ticket to Champs in Denver. So whoever loses this game, they're not out of the running, but they do have a much longer game
tomorrow.
Yeah, so you have to win those two games, and then you play the third for the qualifier, whereas you'll be playing a team who's fresh, hasn't played all day, and has had an opportunity to scout you for the remainder of your game. So a win is going to mean a lot here.
Scoring ratio now 23-1. Using 1 as the common denominator.
So this next jam, so I can confirm, the injured player is all right. He's got looks like a cut on his nose, and of course we want to make sure that there's no blood on the track. They're taping him up now, and if I know Nick Shenanigans, he will be back.
That's in response to a query from the message boards. Is the injured skater look all right from Whiskey Riot? And we are right next to the EMT tables. Probably not going to be fielding a lot of questions along those lines. Not necessarily our place to say, but we figured since he is all right, and since we're sitting here right next to him, we'd answer you this time. Going to be a power start in the penalty box on that forearm from before is unwired. So the only jammer on the track wearing number 46 is Heartless. That's the skater's name. The fellow is not necessarily Heartless.
Oh, yeah. Heart of gold, that one. Heart of gold. So Heartless now pushing away up the front of the pack, is able to push through the zone of engagement. Nice dancing on the toe stops on the outside line to take lead jam. So we actually have an expulsion as a result here.
Oh, wow.
White 315 D Shears has been expelled.
The contact was too rigorous. Solkowski served the penalty for Shears, but is back out of the penalty box. We're back to 5-on-5, and all the skaters are bottled up in that top apex, the narrowest part of the track, with these concentric but not coaxial ovals.
I like your big words, Magic Man. So Heartless walking over bodies to get up to the front of the pack, but Mohawk Valley doing a great job of recycling back up. We've now got 16-18 Ruffo out there to bridge, allowing the blockers up at the front to continue to engage. But Heartless is absolutely tenacious here in his forward momentum.
Yeah, Rufo looking good out there.
So now Heartless, though, forced to the outside, will be forced to recycle all the way back into turn 2. And after such a hard fight to get up that far, that is an unhappy place to be, Mr. Narco.
Big hit by Red 65. That was Kingpin. Just putting a shoulder into the chest of the White Jammer, unwired. And now the pack in retrograde. We're going to go all the way back to turn number 1.
So with this, the jam, we've got 5 seconds left on the jam, and scores have yet to go up on the board. Now, our lead jammer here has picked up points. However, they won't go up on the board until they've cleared the pack, or the jam comes to its conclusion.
Start pass right at the very end there. Number 103, 1003? Oh, 1013.
So I got to admit something to you here, Bobby. I'm a little confused because it looked like the jam clock expired about 20 seconds ago.
Ah. Interessante. And we have an official timeout that might be cause for the official timeout.
A clue.
stops the clock at 16:55. Back-to-back jams stopped by official timeouts. We'd also like to thank the vendors that are here. We have the Snack Shack. If you come on down to the venue, the Snack Shack is serving up wonderful things to eat all weekend long. And 808 Roller Skate is our skate shop in-house, selling all the gear. I think they're even doing a couple of repairs over there if you ask them real nice. Let's get those tallies. No points on the board for the Quad Fathers. They have not scored since jam number 1. 3 points on the board for the Bruise brothers puts them up at 26.
1 point was picked up by House Tar, who is taking the line this jam up against number 15 Smackaroni for the Bruise brothers. So our official
both teams leading scorers.
So our official timeout has expired. A little bit of track maintenance happening in tandem with the figuring out of goings on, but we are about ready to get back into the action, and that whistle says we are into the action.
Another jammer penalty. It is a back block on House Tar, leaving Smackaroni the only jammer on the track. Now,
what a beautiful spin move there by Smackaroni to get through on that lead. So now coming around, we have the Bruise brothers taking a goat here, which when we say a team's taking a goat, we mean that they've taken one player from the opposing team that is not the jammer and are holding them back, preventing them from getting up in that defensive wall.
And that'll really get your goat.
Yeah, indeed. Maybe that's where it comes from. I don't know. I'm no roller derby scholar, but so
I'm no etymologist. 4 points on the board for Smackaroni.
House Tar now back on the track, through quickly, but picks up a track cut penalty on his way through. That is painful for the Quad Fathers here. The power jam now extends for the Bruise brothers. Smackaroni with 8 points so far and looking for more.
6 jammer penalties in 8 jams.
That, boy.
2 in this jam alone.
I tell you, if I'm on the Quad Fathers bench, I would be thinking about calling a timeout to kind of bring things together here.
Yeah, back block called there. That was a very forceful, everybody went down, and we're going to have an official timeout to tend to the skater that is down. I want to give some love to our medical team. I want to give some love to all the volunteers here. I want to give some love to the host league, the Mohawk Valley Roller Derby Quad Fathers. Put on a great tournament, really taking care of the announcers. Great hospitality here for us.
Oh, it's been top notch.
Also want to give some love to Nerd Derby Productions. You are watching the 2019 Men's Roller Derby Association North American Qualifiers on Nerd Derby. That stands for the New England Roller Derby Report. So back-to-back jams ending with official timeouts.
So clock currently frozen at 15 minutes and 28 seconds. Though we are halfway through this first half, otherwise known as the first quarter, we've got a relatively low-scoring game here, Bobby.
Yeah, we do.
We've got 34-1. And taking a look at some of these historic jams, obviously Bruise brothers picking up the lion's share of these points, but we haven't seen more than 3 scoring passes in a single jam.
Yeah, and really there was one. The last scoring pass went. The last jam went 2 scoring passes. Then back in jam number 5, there were 3 scoring passes, but everything else has been. Some had no scoring passes back in jam number 6, which was the first, which ended in the first of our official timeouts. Back on the track right now, starting from the penalty box?
Yep. So something happened there. Smackaroni is in the penalty box, which immediately releases House Tar, who is now out taking the first lead jam of this game for the Quad Fathers. Smackaroni now back on the track.
Anybody watching on the feed, tell me what that penalty was. I'd love to put it in my scorebook. Meanwhile,
House Tar through has put the Quad Fathers further up on the board. 5 points now their total.
I'm just now noticing that's their first lead. First lead of the game.
House Tar going to call off that jam after doing an 8-point jam, bringing them up to 9 points.
Increases their score 9-fold, those 8 points.
Your mathematics amaze and astound, my friend.
Yes, well, the one times tables are very easy.
Hey, not for everybody.
And that is only the first time that the Bruise brothers were held scoreless, that both teams were held scoreless.
So as we line up for jam number 10, going to see number 5, Publix on the line for the Quad Fathers, up against Deconstruct, number 27 for the Bruise brothers.
Pavlik's trying the outside line, but Bloody Baron holds firm. Going to say, no, thank you, try again. Team's taking a moment to just hug it out here on the first straightaway. Pavlik takes a run up the outside line, but Tweakle Beef takes him out. They'll recycle him back to the jammer line.
Whiskey Riot says, oh my goodness, A. Chapin and Brutal together. Well, it said OMG. I'm assuming the G stood for goodness. Forearm penalty. Sets Bruise brother to the penalty box.
That's number 88, Up and Adam. Oh, both jammers trying to run up the opposite lines, but Pavlik takes a hit to the inside, so it's going to be Deconstruct taking lead jam for the Chicago Bruise brothers here.
There can be only one. Force now, Deconstruct forced to the outside. Going to head back to the back of that pack to re-engage.
Pavlik's trying to get through with a little help from his friend D.A. Funk. However, will be continuously forced to the outside. This Chicago defense just doing a phenomenal job against the Quad Fathers.
Bring in Denoise, bring in DeFunk. Track cut coming in. Who is leaving on the track cut?
That's going to be number 10 for the Quad Fathers. That's
Amanda Chapin.
Yep.
But
closely followed by number 33 for the Bruise brothers, Bloody Baron.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one of those got the track cut, but they're both in on a penalty, and one of those penalties is a track cut. All right, 2 more points on the board for the Bruise brothers, brings them up to 36. It is a 4-to-1 scoring ratio using 9 as your common denominator.
That is so much easier than the ones timetables. I'm surprised I didn't say that first.
Me too. You're renowned for your math skills.
Oh, of course. So as we line up for jam number 11, both teams are going to be down a blocker. So 3-3 pack, a little bit of a short stack.
Down a blocker, Ragnarocker.
You know it's true because it rhymes.
Yeah, number 33 is Unwired. Oh, nice move around the outside by Unwired.
Oh, beautiful. Absorbs the hit by Up and Adam to get through and take lead jam for the Quad Fathers. Ragnarocker with 1 to beat. That's number 35, B. Shears.
Considering how few leads they've gotten, that the game is this close is a testament to the roller derby that the Quad Fathers are playing without their jammers.
Oh, absolutely. Their defense has been absolutely marvelous to watch. And we saw here, if it was just for a moment, the solo blocker, number 35 out there for the Quad Fathers. He held just long enough to get those 2 extra defenders. We got Rufo, and I believe that's, nope, that is not who I thought it was. That's El Majestic.
So we got a direction of play in an illegal position. The illegal position is on the pivot. The direction of play was on the skater that reported before that. And now there are only 3 white skaters and 3 red skaters, 4 red skaters out on the track, as many referees as skaters to start the next set of whistles.
So score is going to stand after that jam at Chicago Bruise brothers 36, Quad Fathers 13.
We've got just under 11 minutes remaining to play in this game. So we've only got the 2 blockers on the track for the Quad Fathers, and Bruise brothers up at full strength, so 4-2 pack advantage here. Got Chapin going to take the line, number 43 for the Quad Fathers, up against Heartless, number 46 for the Bros.
First appearance on the jammer line for number 43 for the Quad Fathers.
A beautiful hit there by Fuerza Brutal, taking Heartless out to the outside as he thought he had that open outside line. Bold of him to take it, but Fuerza says no. Heartless, though, will fight his way through the pack, takes lead jam for the Bros.
So penalty box now starting to empty out. Got 2 blockers back on the track. I believe that puts them at full strength. And penalty box now empty. So we've got 5-on-5 on the flat track. Both jammers having a real rough time on this pass. Both teams have just been so offensively marvelous. So Chicago, 10 out of the 12 jams we've seen so far have taken the lead with only 36 points of those. Is like, again, as we were saying, Bobby, just a real testament to the defensive power of the Quad Fathers here.
All red at the top of the pack, all white in the back of the pack. Fuerza Brutal doing some bridging, now joining in the melee at the back. Direction of play penalty called on Shenanigans.
Good to see him back on the track after taking that injury earlier in the game.
Answering the question earlier, is the red skater okay? Back out there throwing hits and getting penalties.
It's what he does. It's what brings him joy.
Calling it off like a rock star is Heartless on his knees in the infield.
So will be a 3-0 jam in favor of the Bruise brothers, brings their score up to 39. Quadfathers remain at 13. Just 8.5 minutes remain to play in the first half. House Tar going to take the star for the Quadfathers up against Smackaroni for the Bros. So we do have a broken skate out there. We'll talk more about that later. We are back into the action. House Tar with open inside line, but not going to be able to hold it. Up and at him.
Illegal contact is the penalty on House Tar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 penalties on Quadfathers jammers.
Archimedes pushing up the inside line, is going to be forced to draw back, try again. Penalty box now empty, though, for the Bros. Shenanigans wasting no time getting up to the front of the pack to try to give some offensive help to Archimedes. But again, the Quadfather defense just doing such a good job of absorbing that offense and coming back together. Of course, as I say that, Archimedes is through his lead jam.
Chiming in, Whiskey Riot about the broken skate says, good thing 808 is there.
Yes. We've seen that's one of the great things about having these skate vendors here is I've been to several tournaments where we've seen a player break a skate and then within 15 minutes they are back on the track. Yeah. It's incredible.
Or less. So it had been a true 3-1 margin. I didn't get a chance to say it before. It's now a no longer a true 3-1 margin. 41 playing 13. Just under 7 minutes left to play in regulation of the first half. Can you see that penalty? I got it. Clear view just right there. It's empty.
Yep.
5 white skaters, 5 red skaters.
Going to be number 5, Poblex on the line for the Quadfathers. Number 27, Deconstruct for the Bros.
Nice move.
Beautifully done.
Deconstructing that wall at the front of the pack. Deconstruct picks up lead. That is back to 3 leads in a row for the Bruise brothers.
Poblex now up at the front of the pack. Only one to beat.
Illegal contact is the call on the Bruise brothers pivot.
Let's see, that is number 22, Impale Ale.
Impale Al?
Ale.
It's a typo?
Yes, sir. So we've got Deconstruct out there currently with a 100% lead statistic.
Nice.
So getting lead all 4 times he's been out there. Thank you very much to Cashman, our illustrious producer, who is just so gosh darn handsome.
That's true.
I love
I wasn't laughing because it's not true. I was laughing because it's unexpected. Cashman is indeed a handsome man.
So as we line up for jam number 15, looks like it's going to be a 4-3 pack advantage in favor of the Quadfathers. Got Unwired out there jamming for the Quadfathers. Rocker wearing the star for the Bruise brothers.
Pivot standing in the box for the Bruise brothers. Quadfathers at full strength.
Rocker actually becoming a part of the wall for Chicago here to play a little bit of defense on Unwired. He will be forced to recycle, though.
Track cut coming in. That's 333 on the red team. Orange Whip. That's a great name for this club for the Bruise brothers. Orange Whip, Orange Whip, Orange Whip, 3 orange whips. High block is the call. Who's leaving on the high block?
Looks like that's number 22, Impale Ale, heading back to the box for the Bros. Another whistle is heard. And there goes Kingpin for the Bros. So
still waiting for lead jammer, and there it goes. Unwired, they have lead.
Ask and you shall receive, Bobby Narco.
Really?
Well, in that particular case.
Did I mention I'm single?
Oh, nice run up the inside line there by Unwired, picking up 4 points for the Quad Fathers. Going to call off the jam there. We'll bring our score to Quad Fathers 17, Bruise Brothers 44. 4 minutes remain to play in this half.
A lot of the games we've had so far this tournament have had lots of jams in them. Have gone jam 28, jam 27. This one I don't think we're going to have nearly as many. We're only at jam number 15 with under 4 minutes left to play. Slightly different feel this time around. Jams are running longer. Oh, first time wearing the star. Why don't you go ahead and say that?
That's going to be 0-1 Deb Crush jamming for the Quad Fathers. Heartless back on the track for the Bruise Brothers. Bruise Brothers going to lose number 88 up and Adam to the box, and Deb crushes through to take lead.
Believe it was a multiplayer, but I've been wrong before, so I'm sure I'll be wrong again. That one for sure is a multiplayer, sending the Quad Fathers pivot to the box.
That's 202 Defunk.
Nice hit by 65. Just putting Deb Crush on the track.
This tripod that the bros have at the back here, Kingpin Shenanigans and Up and Adam, is just a force to be reckoned with. Not a place that any jammer wants to be. Doing great work here now. Deb Crush recycled back by the pivot line, being solo blocked by number 22 in Pale Ale. And once again taken to the outside by Kingpin. So Heartless now completes his initial pass, is looking to score some points, and a jammer penalty.
Low block.
Low block on Deb Crush. So 30-second power jam for the Bruise Brothers. Heartless on the first scoring pass will break through. 4 points up for the Bros.
Whiskey Riot says that Gloom looks awesome out there.
And Steffi Sparkleface can confirm Gloom is amazing. I've actually, Gloom has fostered and skated with the team that I skate for, Wisconsin United Roller Derby. And I tell you, having her on your team is just the best feeling. All right, so we've got Deb Crush back on the track, but all 4 Bruise Brothers defenders are ready there to catch her.
Leg block coming in at the very end. Leg block called on number 96, the captain, Stever. That's the old blocking out of bounds call, is now repurposed as a leg block call. 3 points for the Quad Fathers brings them up to 20. And 7 more for the Bruise Brothers brings them up to 51.
31 points separating these teams as we get into what may well be the final jam of this half. We've got just over a minute remaining to play.
Jammers are Poblex for the Quad Fathers and Smackaroni for the Bruise Brothers. Nice block in the back of the pack by number 59. That's Gloom. Failure to reform or illegal position is the call on Gloom.
Both jammers at the back of the pack. Poblex trying to take the outside line, but then diving into the center.
Yeah, both jammers look like they're trying to just force their way right through the middle. Now a little help, a little wrecking ball action from number 96, Stever. Forearm penalty picked up. Who's it on?
That is going to be on Kingpin for the Chicago Bruise Brothers.
Poblex gets a running start and is able to capitalize, does pick up lead. Forced back down, might be reabsorbed. No, gets out of the pack. Lead jam, Poblex.
So Smackaroni still working on that initial pass.
Yeah, tough 4-wall. Lots of shouting going on.
Oh, a back block call is the result on Poblex. So this jam will go for the full 2 minutes.
According to my score sheet, this is our first 2-minute jam of the game. We had one jam earlier where there was no lead, but there was an injury, so it didn't go the full 2. Would have gone the full 2, but for the injury.
So I believe this is the first jam where we've seen lead lost.
You are correct, sir, at least according to my scorecard.
And I am.
We will double check with Cashman.
Can confirm.
All right. Great minds think alike, and so do ours.
Bruise Brothers sitting at the back of the pack, ready to receive Publix as he flies out of the penalty box, tries to go into the seam, but Gloom closes the door.
And Smackaroni appears to be checking his face to see if he's leaking from the face.
So Chicago Bruise Brothers calling for an official time or official review right as we've hit the halftime here. So I believe what will happen here is we'll find out what the result of this official review is after we come back from the half. As
That's usually the protocol. What can you tell us about the sociopath?
Well, what I can tell you is that New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you.
Yes.
Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please see sociopath.ca for more details. That's SEWCIOPATH.ca.
All right, so come on back for the second half for the results of this official review, for the gist of this official review, and for the second half of the Quad Fathers versus the Bruise Brothers.
Thank you so much for joining us here at the MRDA North American Qualifier. I'm Rich Mahogany.
I'm Bobby Narco. Our producer is the Cash Man. And to my left is Chad Newt. We are going to be back shortly.
And welcome back, friends. We are here at the game number 6 of the MRDA North American Qualifier. We are watching Mohawk Valley Roller Derby, the Quad Fathers, taking on the Chicago Bruise Brothers, and we have one hell of an exciting game on our hands,
Oh,
Bobby.
my goodness, yes, we do. In terms of lead jammers, Bruise Brothers are dominating. They have had 12 leads. Quad Fathers have only had 4. Quad Fathers have passed the star twice. Both times have been to El Majestic. I think the story of the game right now is the jammer penalties. 8 Quad Father jammers, or there have been 8 jammer penalties on the Quad Fathers, some occurring in 2 and 1 jam. Now, only 1 jammer penalty for the Bruise Brothers.
Now, if I may say, of those 8 jammer penalties for the Quad Fathers, 5 of those have been assessed to House Tar. So,
wow.
And House Tar, if I'm not mistaken, has been the high-scoring jammer for the Quad Fathers. So it would be a huge loss to them in the second half to lose House Tar to penalties.
Yeah, Cashman's crunching those numbers for us right now. I do have jammer percentages. Deb Crush is 0 for 1 for 3 points. Unwired 2 for 5 for 8 points. Chapin 0 for 1, no points. Poblex 1 for 5, no points. Houstar 1 for 5 with 9 points. And then over for the Bruise Brothers, Smackaroni is 3 for 5. How many points do we got for number 15 on red?
For number 15, we've got, I believe that's 23 points.
Okay, and Ragnarocker, number 16, is 1 for 4. And Ragnarocker, right there, is that 16?
Oh, I see. Oh, it's all.
No, that's Fortless. That's Heartless. Number Deconstruct, number 27, good for 11 points, 4 for 4 on the jammer line. Heartless is 4 for 4 on the jammer line. We do have the points. Heartless has 16. And I think that's it. Yeah, just 4 jammers for the Bruise Brothers. And 5 jammers, but really 3. A couple relief jams, a relief jam by Deb Crush and a relief jam by Chapin, but basically Mohawk Valley going 3. 1 jam with no score, 1 jam with no lead, 1 jam went 2 minutes. And we are almost ready to go for jam number 2. Oh, and we're going to have an official review result. The head referee is meeting with the team captains right now.
And our producer Cashman is getting the lowdown right now. So before we get that, talk a little bit about the penalties. Just real quick, there are only like a few with 2 or 3 over on the side of the Quad Fathers. House Tar with 5 and Stever with 5 over on the side of the Bruise Brothers. The high penalty accruers are Impale Ale with 3, Kingpin with 3, and Up and Atom with 3. So on the side of the Bruise Brothers, nobody in any real danger yet. All right, so the update on that, thank you very much to Cashman. Chicago Bruise Brothers were looking for the back block that was assessed just at the end of that jam to the Quad Fathers jammer to be upgraded to an egregious back block. After review, the officials found that they did not have enough information to say, yes, that was an egregious penalty, so it will stay at just a regular back block. Chicago Bruise Brothers lose their official review for the first half. But hey, it's the second half. They got it back.
Get another one.
Yeah, can't take it with you. So I think that was definitely a wise use of that that official review at the end of the half there. So I believe that means that once we are ready to get back into the action here, both teams will be at full strength. I do see an empty penalty box. So unless somebody is camouflaged in there, and one of the skaters that's on the track is
the
just
cloaking device,
it's like a jammer blind. No, we are back in the action. Both teams at full strength. Heartless jamming for the Bros. Poblex out there for the Quad Fathers, and it's Heartless taking a quick lead jam, the first jam of the second half.
Penalty on the Chicago pivot. They will be pivotless. One skater advantage to the team in white. Nice move on the inside.
It's like Shenanigans will get that cut to the inside, forcing the recycle on Poblex. But nice juke around the last number 88 Impale, or Up and Atom, for the Bruise Brothers. Will see Poblex completing the initial pass.
I saw a great defensive apex jump by Shenanigans just as that initial pass was completed. I like to see the defensive apex jump. You don't see those very often.
So speaking of Shenanigans, I do have a quick shout out from him to Slim. Slim, I know you're watching out there. Hoping you're having a good time. Relaxing, chillaxing back in Wisconsin. It'll be, so just Shenanigans wanted to share some love. And I can't say no to Shenanigans.
No, everybody loves Shenanigans. Stoppage of play after jam number 1. Clark frozen at 28 minutes and 51 seconds.
So we will have a single skater in the box for each of these teams. So a little bit of a short pack to get into jam number 2.
4-on-4, but no real advantage either way. Unless, well, one's standing. One's going to get out sooner than the other.
No, Kingpin just took a seat.
Sat back down. Head ref, doesn't matter, talking things over with the penalty box manager.
So an update now, looks like will be delivered to the Quadfathers bench.
Defunct jamming out there on that jammer line. Looking eager to get going. A little spin move. Now joined by number 48. Who's that? Chapin.
Oh, that was some very fancy footwork. There's. Is it going to go for another one? Looks like it. Winding up. And oh, what a tease.
Excuse me, that was 48 Oxenfree. Chapin is 43, my bad.
So looks like we're having a switch out of the penalty box for the Quadfathers. Number 6.
Foul out or an ejection from Salkowski?
So that would be an ejection because they did not have enough penalties to reach 7. But
yeah, according to your sheet, Salkowski didn't have any.
Oh, these were only marked for the ones that had high ones. This is fully representative of our full penalty count.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, we don't have that in front of us. So Zalkowski's spot in the penalty box is going to be taken by, I believe that's number 35, B. Shears.
Heffling wants to know what the ejection was about. As soon as we know, we'll let you know. We do have the alt ref over here. Maybe Cashman's on it. What's that? Yeah. Aggressive contact. We'll see what the penalty was. Was it a low block? Was it a high block? What exactly was the contact? Thank you.
So we are back into the action. Unwired wearing the star for the Quadfathers in the white, black, and orange. Bruise Brothers jammer Smackaroni out there taking lead jam for them in the red and white with the little blue stripes on the pants.
Stuck a star into his helmet and called it macaroni.
And he's been jamming ever since. And he's through on the inside. 4 points for the Bros.
Inside line vacated when Defunct went to the ground. Star has been passed. That is Defunct with the star for Mohawk Valley. Third star pass for them. First one to Defunct. Oh, okay. No official word yet as to why that skater skated off the track. We might be speaking precipitously to say that it was an expulsion. Could have been an equipment thing, could have been going back to the locker room to get a clean pair of socks. It did rather look like they weren't coming back, but 7 points picked up there by Chicago brings them up to 64. Quadfathers shutout. They are sitting on 20.
Back to the jammer line goes Deb Crush for the Quadfathers. We'll be jamming against Deconstruct for the Chicago Bruise Brothers.
Deb Crush 0 for 1 on the jammer line, but did score some points. Did tally 3 points as the jammer.
Quick lead jam assessed to Deconstruct and the Bruise Brothers. Deb Crush still working on the initials. Going to be taken to the outside with a run back by Impale Ale.
Direction of play penalty called. No one leaving yet. There it is. That's the Quadfathers pivot on the direction of play. 10-13. El Majestic.
Pack starting to get comfortable in the turn 1-2 apex. Deb Crush with a valiant escape attempt on the outside will end up beating out both skaters. So a penalty. I missed the call.
All right, and get those tallies in. 3 more points for Chicago. Going to bring them up to 67. Is that a 2 or a 3? That is a 3. Brings the Bruise Brothers up to 67. No points on the board for Mohawk Valley. Keeps them at 20.
So, Bobby Narco, I've got an update for you on that happening in the penalty box. It was indeed an expulsion that was issued to Zalkowski for an egregious unsportsmanlike gesture as he was heading towards the penalty box.
Ah, an egregious unsportsmanlike gesture.
Indeed.
Speaks louder than words. Poblex, number 5 on the line for Mohawk Valley. And number 19 on the line, Ragnarrocker on the line for Chicago. Ragnarrocker picks up lead jammer.
Oh, beautiful job there. Ragnarocker absorbing a hit by Poblex, just doing a nice little pivot on the outside, will get through. Poblex now being recycled by Shenanigans. Though he eyes the open inside line, jumps over Impale Ale, lands it. That will complete the initial pass for Poblex.
Direction of play penalty assessed to Fuerza Brutal. Not sure if it's Fuerza Brutal or Fuerza Brutal. If it's truly Italian, it would be Fuerza Brutal. If you want to get a hybrid Italian, it's Fuerza Brutal. Either way, brute force.
Indeed.
7 more points for the Bruise brothers, increasing. They got field goal, touchdown, and all of a sudden they are at 74.
Quad Fathers yet to score this half, sitting at 20 points. So again, certainly not an insurmountable mountain to climb here. 54 points in roller derby is really quite close, but in a game like this.
The last game we saw with Austin and Denver. Austin was, I don't know, lead changed so many times, but there were huge gaps that were being made up.
So we have a track cut penalty on number 33. That's the jammer for the Quad Fathers, unwired. Heartless out there. Lead jam is still open.
Heartless could claim lead.
And in come the cavalry. Bruise brothers coming up, trying to open up that wall. But all of a sudden, we are right back to where we started. B. Shears and Oxenfree holding back Heartless. Unwired now standing in the box. So Heartless grabs lead just as Unwired retakes to the track. Unwired going to play a little bit of defense here on Heartless in turn 1.
And they are calling for their teammates to come back and help with the blocking, but there's a wall of red preventing that from happening.
Both of the walls here have a blocker from the opposing team inserted within. So a little star pass here over to Defunk, however, has picked up a track cut penalty on the way through. So the star for the Quad Fathers is now in the box.
In the box.
Heartless through, picks up 4 points.
Second time this period that Unwired has passed the star to Defunk. Nice block by Bruisel at the back of the pack, and rather than getting up and chasing Brutal all the way across the backstretch, 46 going to call off the jam. Heartless says, I'm going to have a little bit of heart. Call off that jam. 6 more points on the board. Brings the Bruise brothers up to 80.
So I'd like to, looking down to the Twitch chat here, boy howdy, you are absolutely correct. Everybody here is still in contention for an opportunity to go to champs. Any of the teams that have lost today just have a longer road ahead of them tomorrow. Whereas as we were saying before, if whichever team wins here will have just the one qualifier game to play tomorrow. Similarly, the Austin Anarchy only have the one game to play themselves, having taken the win off of Denver just before this game.
Power start for Smackaroni, but Defunk is back in the fray. Hitting the back of that pack, that wall of red at the back. There's a wall of white up at the front. That Defunk is trying to break through. That 15 is trying to break through Smackaroni.
Smackaroni up at the front, 2 to beat. Impale Ale trying to play some offense. However, will just bounce off, and there's the third blocker for the Quad Fathers. Pack picking up speed in the first straightaway.
Ben Hurt picks up a low block. Bruise brothers down 1.
Defunk back on the track. Does manage to fake out Twinklebeef, but unfortunately takes a trip on the inside.
Yeah, he had Twinklebeef skates. Twinklebeef didn't do anything, so no penalty there. It was the jammer who clipped Twinklebeef skates. Had Twinklebeef going the other way, but clipped his skates on the juke. Direction of play penalty coming in. That's number 55, 6 Shenanigans.
And a back block penalty on Twinklebeef. So all of a sudden we find the Bruise brothers with a severely diminished pack strength out there, and Defunk is through to take lead jam for the Quad Fathers.
First lead for the Quad Fathers this half.
And we've got a star removed for Smackaroni. Quickly redonning it though. So no pass here yet. Pivot Impale Ale focusing on trying to hold back Defunk, but Defunk will slide off on the inside.
First points of the half for the Quad Fathers, and the hometown crowd responds to that.
And
And with that, the jam will be called. Bruise Brothers held down to 0. That'll be the first time they have not scored this half. So score now stands at Quad Fathers 24, Bruise Brothers 28. We've got just over 20 minutes remaining to play in the game.
Yeah, I have to go all the way back to jam number 15 to find a time when the Bruise Brothers didn't score.
Yeah, 15 of 17 for the first half.
Right. Deb Crush now, your jammer for the Mohawk Valley Quad Fathers.
Jamming up against Deconstruct. Chicago Bruise Brothers enjoying a 4-3 pack advantage right now as the Quad Fathers pivot is in the box. Deconstruct trying to push through the center of that brace 2 wall for the Quad Fathers. Penalty box now empty out for the Quad Fathers, though Kingpin taking a seat for the Bros.
Yeah, high block.
Deconstruct through for 4 points. Deb Crush still working on the initial star in hand.
Yeah, forced to the outside of the backstretch, going all the way back to turn number 2 to re-engage. All the way. It wasn't that far back.
For pivot, El Majestic currently playing defense on Deconstruct, so and now running him back, so not at all in a position to receive a star pass. Now Deb Crush being recycled behind Gloom. Nice defensive move there. Knocked to the outside is Deconstruct by number 35, B. Shears. Meantime, Deb Crush takes the opportunity to sneak through unnoticed. Well, not unnoticed.
No, just was able to get low, was able to get underneath Gloom.
Oh, so close to points as that jam is called off was Deb Crush, but it will be a 0-7 jam in favor of the Bruise Brothers.
Oh, Deb will be crushed.
Oh.
7 points. Another touchdown for Chicago. They are getting football scores this half. And I do mean American football for our friends who are listening internationally. 7 points in a European football game. That's a whole lot of scoring going on. Ragnarocker on the line. Number 5 is Poblex. Penalty box is empty. Jam number 8 is underway.
Poblex taking a shoulder to the outside by Twinklebee. Will recycle him back into turn 4. Poblex picking up just an absolute frenetic energy here, trying to get through the Bruise Brothers wall, but will be taken down. Ragnarocker through for lead.
Pivot calling for the star pass.
El Majestic positioning himself to receive that star, but it looks like it will not be necessary with an apex leap by Poblex. Was landed. So he's now eligible to score points. Going to put on the afterburners here to try to catch up, but Ragnarocker ready to end it. Not all of it, just the jam.
Now the field goal for the Bruise Brothers brings them up to 90. No points for the Quad Fathers. They are sitting on 24. Heartless and House Star will be the jammers. If you are just tuning in, this is the 2019 Men's Roller Derby Association North American qualifiers. Top 2 finishers of this tournament will go on to play for the Men's Roller Derby Association Championship in Lakewood, Colorado, second weekend of October.
We are back into the action. House Star jamming for the Quad Fathers. I haven't seen House Star taking the star much this half.
You're right. This is the first time donning the star for House Star this half. House Star has been out there, but hasn't been wearing the star.
So Heartless jammer for the Bruise Brothers, taking a big hit at the back of the pack there, and it's going to be House Star through to take lead.
House Star 1 for 1 this period. House Star was 1 for 5 in the first period and good for 9 points.
Of course, as a reminder, House Star came into the second half with 5 penalties, all of those accrued as a jammer.
Yeah, that would explain the absence on the jammer line until now.
Clearly a very effective jammer for the Quad Fathers.
And exhorting his teammates, let's go, as he heads back to the penalty bench. To the bench.
Yeah,
next to the penalty box.
No penalties picked up there. Penalty box empty, save for one lone skater. That's number 88 for the Chicago Bruise Brothers, up and at him. He is standing. He will be getting back into the action momentarily. As we look back down to the jammer line, it's going to be number 43 Chapin for the Quad Fathers, up against 16 Marcomedes for the Bros.
First appearance on the jammer line for Marcomedes all game.
Oh, track cut penalty assessed to Chapin. Does not look happy about that call. But what jammer would be?
Oh, and well, that was the jam ref relaying the penalty call to the house announcers. It was very, very nice. Like, you hear the house announcers sometimes.
Good looking out. Good looking out. And Marcomedes gets lead jam, but is knocked to the outside, is going to gamble on it. No track cut. So looks like, yep. So that's number 35, B. Shears, heading off to the penalty box. So that penalty allowing Marcomedes to go back
play
on.
without the cut, yes. Helmet cover off. El Majestic in a position to receive it, but Chapin decides to press through that wall, and El Majestic quarterbacks the 2-wall, braces the 2-wall at the back of the pack.
Marcomedes manages to take all of the Quadfather defenders out to the outside and then cut to the in.
I think that move is called the Marcomedes principle.
Nerd.
Meanwhile. Boy, look at them fighting their way. All the skaters on the track, nobody in the penalty box. Everybody is in that tiny little area. There are 10 people. That is more crowded than a New York City subway. High block coming in. That'll loosen things up a little bit. Chicago losing a blocker to the penalty box, and he's telling his bench how many penalties he has.
So it looks like that up and Adams signaling that was his 5th penalty, if my eyes serve me.
I thought he was holding up the other hand as well.
I believe he was holding it up as a
0,
fist
okay.
to indicate not here.
8 points on the board for the Bruise brothers, brings them up to 98. Seeing 0, yeah, that fist in the sky, no points for the Quadfathers, keeps them, oh no, 2 more points, a total of 10. That is the second highest jam of the game and the highest of the period. And it brings Chicago up to 10 squared.
A team timeout being called for by the Quadfathers, their first used this game.
Yeah, the first team timeout by either team.
I have to say that surprises me.
Me too.
Especially with a game like this, I would think that timeouts would be the Quadfathers' friends at this point.
It's just to stop momentum or to regroup or to, I don't know.
Yeah, but I am not a bench coach.
Fair enough.
I'm just a man.
I'm just a loudmouth
man with a microphone. Let me tell you all the things you're doing wrong. No.
Right,
I trust these folks to be doing what they think to be best here.
We got some speculation on the chat about what the gesture was, and it was a peace sign. We all know that in Derby you can only have war, so by putting up a peace sign, that's provocative and unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how dare you, sir?
Oh, there you go. Chad points out that it's the 50th anniversary of Woodstock this weekend, not having any relation to Senor Wiener's birthday. He's another skater in another game.
Well, back to the action on the track. Has Haustar back to jam for the Quadfathers. Deconstruct jamming for the Chicago Bruise brothers. Huge pileup in turn 1. Things are back up and in the action. So we have Haustar through, takes lead jam for the Quadfathers. That'll maintain a 100% lead percentage for this half for him.
Yes, it will.
Back block penalty assessed to Haustar. And an in-sub for skating too long on the track. So that'll be a full minute in the box for Haustar and a foul out if my math is to be believed.
And a 2-minute jam, our first of the half, our second of the game.
So Deconstruct on the power jam, but still having trouble getting through this wall of the Quadfathers. Again, despite the jammer penalty troubles that the Quadfathers had been having in the first half, their defense standing strong. An out-of-play block will be assessed to a blocker for the Quadfathers.
And now there's only 3 Quadfathers blockers on the track, and Chicago is looks to be at full strength.
Yes,
no, they've got one in the bin as well. No, Chicago at full strength.
Yep, Chicago got everybody out there. So Deconstruct through for 4 points. Haustar standing in the box, but now being escorted off to the side. So that will confirm it. That's going to be a foul out for Haustar.
So jammerless for the rest of the jam.
What a
no bueno. Fortunately, it's only 9 seconds left. But could have been worse.
Big hit levied on Gloom, but it looks like that's going to net a back block penalty for number 33. That's unwired. That jam will come to its natural 2-minute conclusion. 0 points put up by the Quad Fathers. See 4 points up on that pass for the Bruise brothers. I believe that makes it just an even 8 for the jam.
Yes, 8 for the jam, and a true 4-to-1 ratio using 27 as your common denominator. Now from the seedings, this looks to be an upset. Coming in, the MRDA had ranked the Quad Fathers 13th, and the Bruise brothers were ranked 29th. But Flat Track Stats on the rankings that were released just earlier this week actually does rank the Bruise brothers ahead of the Quad Fathers.
Flat Track I can talk. Flat Track Stat ranks 16 for the Bruise brothers, 23 for Mohawk Valley. And we've got Poblex out jamming for the Quad Fathers, takes lead jam.
So that's 2 leads in a row for the Quad Fathers and 3 of the last 4.
The Bruise brothers will lose Twinkle Beef to the box. Poblex trying the inside line, but door is closed. Now up at the front of the pack, 1 to beat, he's through. That's 4 points for the Quad Fathers. Ragnarok are up at the front, 1 to beat. That's 35. B. Shears will get through on the outside. That completes the initial pass for the Bros.
Did you catch the penalty on Unwired? Unwired reports the penalty box on a low block. Might not be a low block. They might be indicating that that's a certain number of penalties. That could be the gesture to indicate that a fistful of penalties have been accumulated by Unwired. Hey, 4 points on the board. Mohawk Valley increasing their tally. Official, go forth and Sally.
So as we line up for this next jam, we're going to see a 4-3 pack advantage in favor of the Bruise brothers. Single blocker in the box. That's the pivot in the box for the Quad Fathers.
Yeah, Unwired.
Defunk jamming for the Quad Fathers up against Heartless for the Bruise brothers. Heartless recycled back behind Fuerza Brutal.
Nice takeout at the top of the pack, but the jammer doesn't have very far to go. Multiplayer coming in. One red jersey to the box on a multiplayer.
That's going to be Kingpin. Heartless through to take lead jam for the Bros.
Stops that streak of 2 lead jams that the Quad Fathers have been on. Multiplayer block coming in. That's Gloom reporting to the penalty box on the multiplayer.
Defunk through, looking to score some points here. About half a track length away from the pack, though.
Yep, already entering the pack is Heartless, and Heartless calls off the jam before Defunk can tally any points. 31 playing 109, just under 9 minutes left to play in regulation of this game.
So I cannot see through. So there's going to be 2 blockers in the box for the Bros to start this. We've got the Quad Fathers up at full strength. Smackaroni jammer for the Bros up against
Deb Crush.
Oh, way to go, Deb. Deb taken to the outside, going to be recycled back by Shenanigans.
3rd jam of the half for Deb, 4th of the game.
Nice offensive maneuver there by El Majestic, opening it up for Deb Crush. She does get through on the outside to take lead, however forced to recycle. Going to call off the jam promptly. That will keep Gloom standing in the box, the only skater in the penalty box to go into jam 15 of the second half.
And our first scoreless of the half, second scoreless of the game. Only other scoreless jam occurred back at jam number 6 of the first period. .31 playing 109. Jammers are Deconstruct for Chicago and Chapin for Mohawk Valley.
Chapin almost threw on the toe stops on the outside, but the Bros defense doing a great job of holding the line. Deconstruct running up the in, takes lead jam.
Oh no, track cut first jammer penalty of the half for Chicago. Mohawk Valley's got their work cut out for them. They have 7.5 minutes.
Well, 10 points, 10 points a minute, roughly. Possible.
Possible. It would take a complete meltdown by Chicago and no more penalties pretty much at all for the home team.
Oh! Kingpin trying the run back, but falls out. Bloody Baron heading off to the box will be closely followed by Kingpin. So just as Deconstruct is released from the box, we've got 2 blockers for the Bros in there. And Chapin at full strength. Or Chapin lead jam, Quadfathers full strength. But Chapin's looking pretty strong out there, too.
There you go. It's been a long game. I don't know if anybody's at full strength. It's been a long day as well. Direction of play penalty coming in. Red jersey heading off on the direction of play, and it's the jammer.
So power jam continues now for the Quadfathers, and they are going to immediately call the jam.
Yeah, Chapin looks spent. Chapin is gassed.
Oh.
Timeout, White. Don't blame you.
Not
Catch
at
your
all.
breath.
So 2 points picked up that jam for the Quadfathers. Will bring their score up to 33 against the Bruise Brothers 109. Clock is stopped at 6 minutes and 12 seconds remaining to play.
Over the last 3 jams, Mohawk Valley on a 2-1 run. Only, put another way, only 3 points scored in the last 3 jams. 6 minutes and 12 seconds remaining.
So the Quadfathers, after this team timeout, have 2 clock stoppages left at their disposal, potentially 3 if they use their official review to review something that they win.
And win, yes.
Bruise Brothers with a full complement of all of their clock stoppages left to them.
Theoretically could stop the clock 5 times. Given the same if they win scenario.
Yeah. So the officials, of course, a full complement of their infinite clock stoppages left at their disposal.
We got some bring in the noise, bring in the funk puns coming up on the board, thanks to Ria Culpa and Libola.
So, and here we go. Of course, the team timeout has expired. We're rolling right into an official timeout. So we're going to take another moment here. Figure out, make sure all I's are crossed, T's are dotted. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, you got to dot the lowercase j as well, Chad points out.
Oh, yep.
So Ria Culpa pointing out the difference between the FTS rankings and the MRDA rankings, which is the frozen ranking periods that the MRDA has, whereas the flat track stats can really update their stats whenever they want. Score gets input, and I believe that is just automatically going to update those standings based on an algorithm. Also, in the MRD rankings, I believe that voting is involved. Isn't that right?
You are correct, sir. There are also there's algorithms as well. It is not a strict voting system. And I'm not going to get into that black box right now. I think
Sure.
that is a conversation for another time. But there's more to it than simple winning or losing games.
We just got handed a note. What do we got here?
So Cashman gives us the information that the second half scoring for the second half, we've got Mohawk with 13 points, Chicago with 55. So
Chicago's doubled their score already this half, and we still have 6 minutes left to go. And Mohawk has not doubled their score.
They're pretty close, but not.
They've got 65% of their score.
Yeah.
Your 13/20ths is 65%.
I'm going to search you later and find your calculator.
You'll have to crack my skull open. Meanwhile, out on the track, only jammer out there is Poblex, starting from the penalty box, number 27, Deconstruct.
Poblex running up the inside, beautifully done to take lead jam.
That's 3 in a row and 5 of the last 6 and 7 of the last 9.
Great job here by the Quadfathers, starting to rally in the waning minutes of this game. And doing such a great job, having lost several of their big players this game.
Forearm penalty called on the Chicago pivot for clotheslining the blocker as he went by. That's Impale Ale. I do see the E at the end of Ale now. Not that I didn't believe you. I just, I'm actually now seeing the jersey.
I prefer to trust my eyes too, Bobby Narco. So Deconstruct back in effect here.
D. Shears with a great hit to the outside on Deconstruct. Will force him to recycle back onto the pivot line. Pavlik's coming around after having picked up 4 points, looking for the third scoring pass here in this jam. Will be taken to the outside by Shenanigans. But Shenanigans looks like went out, so Pavlik's right back in it. Deconstruct completes the initial pass. Pavlik's runs up the outside, gets 4, calls off the jam. That's going to be a 12-point jam for the Quad Fathers, managing to hold the Chicago Bruise Brothers down to 0.
That is by far their highest jam of the game.
So we are going to get an official timeout here, chipping away at that infinite count of the officials.
And in fact, that's the highest jam of the game for either team. There was an 11-point jam way back in jam number 4 of the first half. But and we had a 10-point jam here in the second half, jam number 10 in the second half. But 12 points for individual jams leads all scorers.
Wow. Pavlik stepping it up here. We'll see if anybody else cracks that 12. Like, the defenses here have just been incredible.
The stoppage of play is an official timeout, neither team being charged with this. Clock frozen at 4:51.
The score standing at Quad Fathers 45, Bruise Brothers 109, and we are back into the action. Defunk wearing the star for the Quad Fathers up against Markomedes for the Bruise Bros.
Only second appearance on the line for Markomedes.
Oh no, I see a helmet cover on the ground. I see 2 stars out there though, so that is the pivot helmet cover for the Quad Fathers that is left to be
discarded,
lonely by the jammer line.
Forearm penalty coming in. Who's leaving on the forearm?
Oh, that'll be the jammer, Defunk, with the forearm. So power jam now for Markomedes and the Bros. And until the pivot comes back around to the jammer line and picks up that star, they will not be able to have a pass happening here. Markomedes threw for lead, but out of nowhere comes 33 unwired with the check to the inside. Markomedes felt that one, is going to recycle back into the second straightaway.
Direction of out of play warning issued. Skater had started a report to the penalty box and was told to come back to the track.
Defunk now returning to the track from the penalty box.
Watch your skates. There's some stuff on the track. There it is. Unwired, recovering that jammer, that pivot cover.
So B. Shears being lost to the box for the Quad Fathers. Defunk with a run up the inside. That'll complete the initial pass for Mohawk Valley. Chicago going to call off the jam.
Unwired, throwing a hit. Microns after that fourth whistle. I thought it was a good hit.
Yeah,
it looked clean from here.
Yeah, and here we've got the replay coming in here, courtesy of the Yeah, so nice run back there by Unwired. But that, as you said, that the block was initiated just before the whistles, and then as soon as that fourth whistle, that first set of 4 whistles hits, no more hitting. But that fourth whistle just barely hitting through. So
got an official timeout now. Points have not gone up on the board yet for Chicago there, unless they're getting a 0. But I thought points were on. I thought that was a scoring pass for Markomedes.
So jam is back on. We've got a Wifo pathetic signal, giving the scorekeepers a bit of a note.
Wifopathic?
Wifopathic, thank you. I apologize.
No
so
worries.
We are back into it. Looks like no points
that
added
was scoreless,
there.
Our third scoreless of the game.
So Heartless going to be out there jamming for the Bros. Deb Crush wearing the star for the Quad Fathers. And we're going to have a stop to injury. Looks like Heartless took a hit to the face or to the head.
Back-to-back scoreless jams. Can you tell me who those jammers were? Or was Deb Crush was the white one? Mm-hmm. And who was the other one?
That was I was just saying
the one that's coming over here.
Yep. So
I get the uniform number when they spin around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, blood coming out of the mouth.
Yeah, so that's number 46 for the Bros, Heartless. So we are about ready to get back into the action here. Deb Crush staying on the track. Smackaroni coming out for the Bros. Deb Crush with a nice run up, but is forced to recycle. trailering on to D. Shears, who's just returning from the penalty box, but Deb Crush takes a hit to the inside. I like this using D. Shears as or B. Shears, I'm sorry, as a bit of a shield, and obviously effective as Deb crushes through to take lead jam. However, Smackaroni out right behind her, looking to catch up, overtakes on the 1-2 apex, will force the call off.
Back to back to back scoreless jams.
Oh, Bobby Narco. 1 minute and 42 seconds remain to play. Score sits at Quad Fathers 45, Bruise Brothers 109. We're going to be lining up for jam number 20 of the second half. Both teams not at full strength. Both teams have jammers. However, the pivot for Bruise Brothers, I believe that is Shenanigans. That is indeed Shenanigans sitting in the box for the Bros.
And Unwired gets off the track just in time. Chapin and Deconstruct are your jammers.
Chapin taking Gloom to the outside. Gloom taking a minute to come back in, but now Pack really picking up speed around turn 2 as Chapin driving forward, takes a hit to the face.
Yeah.
But looks like that was self-initiated, perhaps.
Maybe.
No penalty called.
Right.
On that contact. Everything else is mere speculation. And as much as I love speculating wildly, we're going to keep it on the up and up here.
Low block coming in. Bruise Brothers losing a blocker on the low block. That is triple tray, orange whip. Lead jam has gone to Chapin. Lead jam gets called. And Chapin gets a shoulder to the chest. It calls off the jam. Nothing, back to back to back to back. 4 scoreless jams in a row keeps the score at 45 to 109.
So period clock ticking away here. Less than 10 seconds remaining unless we get a timeout
Quad
called
Fathers
for.
can stop it. I don't know if they want to.
We are getting another jam, or we will not be getting another jam. They're going to let it run, and there is the whistle that brings us to the conclusion of this game.
Game ending on 4 scoreless jams in a row.
Wow, what an incredible rough and tumble game this has been, Bobby Narco.
Yeah, an upset in the books. The lower bracket seed prevails. Chicago Bruise Brothers. This is their second upset. They did it. They upset to get here, and then they up over Lane County, and now an upset here over Mohawk Valley. This is the Cinderella story. This team out of Chicago, Illinois.
Right, you are, and this is their first trip to the to any qualifiers. So now with their first shot at the championships, just tasting it.
Heck of a debut.
Oh, absolutely. Put up a great showing all weekend long.
New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. It's a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear that is designed to fit you, and that includes even me, Bobby Narco. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition, and team discounts are available. All you need to know is at sociopath.ca.
Well, that brings us to the end here. Final score is Quad Fathers 45, Bruise Brothers 109. As we were saying before, I feel jammer penalties really telling a large part of this story.
Very much so.
Both of these teams putting on absolutely masterful displays of defense. We see this when
Mohawk did not look that foully when they played earlier today. So maybe Chicago's doing something right to draw all those penalties. Anyway, it's what a thrilling conclusion to the end of this first day. We have a whole nother day of that's a New Yorkism. That's an Americanism. A whole nother day of roller derby action coming your way from the 2019 Men's Roller Derby Association North American qualifiers.
So be joining us at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow to kick off the action.
Do you know that matchup? Who do we have tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.?
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. if I can dig through frantically to reach my bracket.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
You totally did. So I don't have that in front of me.
All right. Well,
I apologize,
tomorrow.
Bobby.
Look it up on your bracket. So you have more roller derby coming your way tomorrow. On behalf of Chad and our most excellent producer, Cashman, and of course my announcing partner, Rich Mahogany, I am Bobby Narco, and we wish you peace, love, and roller derby.